Peter, we typically find maintenance in one of three buckets. Maintenance coordination, light maintenance, and heavy maintenance. Walk me through each of those three at a high level and give me kind of the tipping points for each.
Well, when you talk about maintenance coordination, if you have a technician that you've hired that is going to be responsible for the aircraft, they're going to need to take care of the daily maintenance, any discrepancies that the aircraft will develop as it flies, and they're also going to need to project what the inspection schedule will be over the life of the period of the aircraft. So when they're coordinating that, it's important that they understand and balance how much they can do within the organization at their facility and how much of that needs to go out. So the light maintenance that that particular technician may be able to accomplish could be the annual inspections, it could be the discrepancies, it could be some minor improvements that they could do that they're comfortable doing within the organization. Once you get into the 2-year inspections on up through the 6-year to 8-year inspection, depending on the manufacturer, that's considered heavy maintenance. That's going to require a number of weeks of downtime, and it's going to be coordinated with a number of professional individuals through those third-party organizations.
Is that thought process and resulting decision a financial decision? Is it a qualitative or aircraft availability decision? I mean, what are the pillars upon which you make that decision?
Well, it's a balance that you have to understand from flight operations to flight operations. Some owners are comfortable with having others work on their aircraft that they really don't know who they are. Others insist that they have an individual like the pilot who flies them around, also has a technician who is familiar with the aircraft, has the ability to maintain the aircraft on a daily basis, working off discrepancies as they develop, and doing the day-to-day maintenance that that aircraft requires by the manufacturer. So I think it's a matter of choosing whether you want a familiar face there, touching that aircraft on a daily basis, or if you're comfortable having someone do it at a third-party organization.
And fair to say that the two are not mutually exclusive, that most flight operations have some combination of both?
Oh, absolutely.
Peter, one of the other elements with maintenance that I come up against a lot from a valuation conversation perspective is the notion of original manufacturer performed maintenance versus a third-party vendor. How do you think about that? Is there a pro and con? Is there a benefit to either?
Over the time that I've investigated the records of aircraft and have looked at where they've done their maintenance, I'm always encouraged when I see that the maintenance was done by the manufacturer first, because you're getting the latest and greatest information and you're getting the technology and training from those individuals that are maintaining that aircraft when it is in that facility.
Peter, on the maintenance topic, downtime is a huge concern for most executives in the corporate world. How do we think about downtime versus the strategies of a third-party facility, an in-house strategy? Give me that logic.
When I think of downtime and what the strategies are amongst the departments that I've visited and I've operated, it's important to recognize that if you're going to have your own maintenance, you have the opportunity to reduce your downtime. The idea being that you can work around the flight schedule and you have that flexibility to get things done. Once that aircraft leaves the facility and must be maintained outside of your control, you lose that opportunity to reduce the downtime. It generally is much longer and it takes more time to get the aircraft back into your facility because you have to fly to that facility and costs involved and associated with that.
So in that maintenance conversation, what percentage of downtime should we be thinking about on an average basis?
Depending on the flying that you're doing, I think you need to consider about 10% of flying time that will not be available to you while it's being maintained.
Give me the bottom line, the hot topics that you consider when you're thinking about overall maintenance on a given aircraft project.
When you have an aircraft, you have to understand that there's no one size fits all, whether you need a technician full-time or not. What you need to consider though is if downtime is important to you, the more you can do within your organization, the less you're going to have in downtime impact.